One thing time. Take a look at the one thing from across the Walt Disney Company that we focus on in this segment. And this time around, it's the one reason you choose to visit Disneyland Park. It is the most happiest of places. It is Walt Disney's original Magic Kingdom, and here with us today to talk about it, Garrett Hassel, Tyler Crouch, Katrina Manzone, all to share their thoughts on the one main reason they choose to visit Disneyland Park. And we'll start with Tyler. What do you got? I mean, this place means an awful lot to individuals around the world. Certainly, I know it holds a special place in your heart. Tell us why.
I mean, I think I got to go with the corny answer, to be honest with you. And the number one reason for me is just family, honestly. It's
corny.
It really is just a very special place to me in the way that, you know, my dad has unfortunately passed away. It was his birthday recently, and it's kind of tough thinking about those sorts of things. But every time you go to Disneyland, you remember like all the good times you had there. He used to take me to the Disneyland Hotel every other year, and you know, I remember going there when like even the marina was still there. So it has a lot of, it was we ate at Stromboli's one time, the pasta place. I guess they probably had pizza too. I don't remember what they had, but yeah, that was a long time ago. And you know, so it brings me closer to people like my father, and of course I went with my mom and sister as well plenty of times, and have fond memories of having annual passes with them. And my sister would dress up like Minnie Mouse or you know, sometimes Snow White and stuff, and it was always, you know, just a fun time for us all. And then as well as just even fast forwarding a little bit, and you know, when I first met Katrina, we met at Universal Studios. We met, well, not at Universal Studios, but we were going to Universal Studios as a group, and she was like, she was visiting, you know, and she's like, I really want to go to Disneyland. And I'm like, I'll go to Disneyland with you. Let's go. And so smart really like choice. The first full, exactly. She's smart. The first like full day that we really spent together, like even like really one-on-one time, was just going to Disneyland together. And since then it's become our home, and we love going together. And it's something we do almost every weekend if we can swing it. And you know, and even to be a little more abstract about the whole family situation, we have met so many great people that work over there, or that also are just friends of friends, and we just go there, and it's almost like Thanksgiving any time of year you want, you know. So it's to me, it really boils down to just families, memories, and it's a great place to foster those things.
Beautifully said. And we turn it on over to you at the Kingdom Report YouTube community page, asking you sort of a similar question. Why do you choose to visit Disneyland? Here's what you said. Grandpa Ross saying, it's a total escape, a different world with magic and momentary joy. Mike says, it's a nostalgic place for me to blow off steam, and my kid really enjoys it. Douglas says, it's a place where I don't have to worry about what's going on in the real world and in my life. And October Queen says, I can be a little girl one more time and forget the adult life. Sad things like when my brother passed away, and just living the perfect moment. Childhood, heart emoji. Mike Temple says, it's home. And Tinker Shell says, it gives me life. Blue heart emoji. And Katrina, same question for you. What is the one main reason you like visiting Disneyland Park?
I feel like everybody said kind of like how I feel too, and like Tyler as well. Like I've always had fond memories when I was a kid. I think it's like a great escape. I think it's fun. Again, you just feel like you belong in Disneyland. Like I feel like it's just like a warm hug. Like magical. You're seeing. I know, it's so magical. Like I feel like I always compare it with Disney World. So like Disneyland, I feel like I'm coming home to family, or Disneyland, I feel like I'm coming home to family. And then with Disney World, I feel like I'm seeing like an aunt or an uncle. We were kind of like, it's great to see you, but you know, I can't stay there all the time. But then Disneyland, I can go every day, over and over and over again, and I always feel welcome. And it doesn't feel like, you know, cold and corporate. Like Disneyland and it's like the original park. Like you feel the love that Walt put into it, and then it's just like there's just so much history, and like I'm like a history nerd, so I just love when you get to go to a place and there's just so much of that stuff. And then on top of it, it's fun to like see your friends, and then it just makes you want to keep coming back and just popping in to say hi to people. And then with Tyler and I, like, that was our place. Like, we would always love going there. When we started dating, it was kind of like hey, what do you want to do? I don't know, what do you want to do? Let's go to Disneyland, you know? And then so we'd go to Disneyland for like not even like 3-4 hours, just walk around, have dinner or something, and then we would go to like
watch Mad Tea Party.
Mad Tea Party.
I miss Mad Tea Party.
Crazy. Go to eat at Steakhouse 55 for like a date night or a date breakfast, you know, kind of thing. It was fun. R.I.P. Steakhouse 55. But you know, it was always just like it's like a fun place to go. And then I love Disneyland.
It's nice having it in your backyard to be able to do all those things,
I know.
right? Very, very,
We're very
fortunate.
lucky. We're very, very lucky.
Yes.
Absolutely. A tremendous gift to have it, locally to so many of us. Somebody who it's not local for, Garrett Hassel. So when you come to Disneyland, it's even more special, I would imagine, because you're coming from afar.
Yeah. When I did the Disney College program, I had the opportunity to choose between Disney World and Land, and I specifically chose Disney World because Disneyland for me is like a second home. It's where I fell in love with Disney. It's where I got to experience like what Imagineering is. And when I was younger, I wanted to be an Imagineer. I wanted to make these attractions and experiences. So after going to Disney World and working there, Disneyland is just a way to breathe and say, I'm not going to work. I'm not going to go run around at work. It's, man, I get to have fun, get to be myself, not have to worry about like running into a coworker or anything like that, or, seeing people. It's just, being in my own zone, being where, Walt started it all. And for me, I feel that Walt magic, it's cheesy, but Walt, like you can say Walt touched this and like you're part of that immersive experience. It's not as corporate and cold as, Tyler and Katrina have spoken about.
It's definitely true. You're right.
Yeah. It's a lot. It's warmer. It's more welcoming. You see, I think the food's better. The cast members seem a little bit happier. I don't know. Maybe it's just the California weather not being humid or whatever, but Disneyland just, it wasn't work for me. It's where I grew up, where I got to go, twice a year as a kid, and just got to be in all that. Plus, it's got Indiana Jones Adventure. You can't beat that. Like that beats out all of
Can't
Disney
beat
World.
that.
No dinosaur can beat that.
Yeah, no, take that dinosaur. The only thing I miss is left, right. Like that's the only pro about that experience. But other than that, Disneyland just is a very warm and welcoming experience. It's not as big and as gaudy as Disney World. Is intimate, it's small, and the moment you walk through, that archway, you see the attraction posters, and you're in Main Street. You're like, man, like this just feels so nice and
so right.
You feel like you're in. Yeah, it does. It feels like you're in actual town, not this, like this built thing in the middle of Florida. It feels like it was there from the get-go. And
feels quaint.
Yeah, no, Disneyland was done right. Downside is, all of Southern California built around it, so you couldn't expand out more. But in a way, I think that makes it a little bit more special. That with such a small amount of land, every ounce of it is being used efficiently, and you don't hear the outside world. You don't hear LA, you don't hear Southern California. It's amazing. So, yeah, Disneyland just welcoming, warming, and just a loving place to be. I really, really miss it.
Feels like a hug. Now, I often told people when I worked there that Disneyland was actually built around the Matterhorn, which was, of course, at the time called Mount Anaheim, which everybody believed. Shockingly. So
I feel like, what?
Yeah. I was like, oh yeah, no. So Walt was looking for a mountain in the middle of a valley, and he found this one, and he just themed it.
Too bad, and it's too bad that there was an abominable snowman in it, but something he was willing to work with.
And that the Matterhorn came along years after Disneyland opened. So anyway,
it's the one place of snow in Los Angeles and the Southern California.
That peak is so high.
Yeah,
it goes on forever.
It's wild.
That's right.
Yeah, with the zip line attached to it, came like that.
Yeah.
Yep.
How do you think they got down off the top when they climbed all the way to the peak?
True.
Makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Basketball court and a mountain, you can't pass up that sort of already
Can't pass
built.
that up.
Like,
That's right.
Like man-made. Not man-made. That was Mother Nature made.
Mother Nature made.
Mother Nature invented basketball.
She knows.
In the middle of Orange County.
Well, you let us know. Are you somebody who has a particular reason why you visit the Disneyland theme park? We would love to hear from you.
To all who come to this happy place, welcome.